Well, welcome to Friday Night Flights, everybody. This is Lazerbolt, your flight lead and your host for the night. We are here in, actually, I'm not exactly sure where this is, Mifflin County, wherever Mifflin County is. We're going to be on our way to Logan International today. We're taking a little flight to Boston. That should be fun. We're going to be taking off in about 3 or 4 minutes. This is a nice looking little airport. Not a whole lot going on here, but it's pretty like. If you guys would like to join us one of these days, please do. You can get the game on GamePass, and all the information for the flight is in the description of the video, so take advantage of that. And yeah, come fly with us one of these days. We have a good time. Like I said, we're going to be taking off in about 3 minutes. Tonight we're going to be climbing up to about 5,000 feet. There's nothing to hit around here, so 5,000 should do it. And we're going to take a little left-hand turn out of this airport. So count on that, gentlemen. When we leave out of here, left-hand turn. We're going to try to maintain 160 knots indicated, and that should get us there. Yeah, like I was telling you guys, I purchased the full version of the game, so I've got all the airplanes now and all that kind of stuff. I should see everybody properly. Should. That doesn't mean I will, but I should. And yeah, it should be a good time. Hope I don't have any problems with my controls. I had to reset everything back up once I purchased that. So I took the last couple days just setting up all my settings and my controls. And yeah, so we'll see. Should be fun though. I'm glad that I've got the full version now. A lot more airplanes to pick from. There was really almost too many airplanes to pick from before. I mean, there's like, I don't know how many there are, 50 or 60 airplanes, and I only fly like 4 of them. I know what I like, and that's what I fly.
Well, all you're missing now is the Blackbird Sims C-130, the glass panel J model.
Oh yeah, that the Dirty 30.
The Dirty 30.
Yes, I should definitely get that. I should get that before they update it again and the price goes up.
Yeah, if you can. They've got 2 updates on it now, and it's flying a whole lot smoother than it ever did before.
Yeah, it does look pretty sharp. I'm sure I'm going to love that airplane. Well, my favorite bird of all time is the C-130, and this is the newest, fanciest version of it. And looks like they're doing a great job. So they'll get my money, no doubt.
Yeah, they got a long extended variant of it, and they've got the short variant. And under those, they have different models. They've got the Navy Fat Albert, the blue
right. Really?
Thunderbirds. Yeah, and then the gray, of course.
Well, I'm sure my favorite version of it is the short version. Just looks more like a C-130 to me instead of that big stretch limo looking one. But there's a number of different short versions too, so I'm going to enjoy that. I can't wait to get it.
What happened to Longhorn? This airplane disappeared on us.
Oh, there it is. He must have been in the pause menu. So, all right, guys, 1 minute. Get ready, 1 minute. Like I said, we're going to turn left out of here and climb to 5,000 feet, 160 knots. If you need more time than that, so let me know.
For whatever reason, it's not transferring the flight plan into my GPS. Well, that sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't have any trouble with it today at all. It just popped right in.
Well, it might be my airplane, though, that's causing the problem.
Oh, that is true. It has a different GPS in it than ours.
No, it's a the Garmin. I don't know if it's the 1000 or 3000. It's the big, huge 2 screens.
Oh, right on. Yeah, that's a slightly different version than what we got, but it's still a Garmin.
All that transferred in was, let me see. Oops. Yeah, just, oh no, wait. Oh, it's there. Okay. I got it.
Hey, we have a couple people checking in. We got page turners. They were not. Hello there. Well, hello there, Brennan. It's good to see you, buddy. Happy Friday. And who else do we got here? A Joe VHS says, good videos. Have been watching them, blah, blah, blah. Well, thanks for the kind words there, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, so some much needed. Oh, my eyes are so bad I have to get right up on the screen. Some much needed laid back content for YouTube. Well, I appreciate the sentiment, buddy. Thanks very much. I hope you keep watching. Well, our buddy Coast just joined us in Discord. Greetings, Coast. We're getting ready to take off here in a second now.
Yep, I'm not flying, but I'll be with you.
Right on. I'm
Evening,
glad
Coast.
you could join us, buddy. Happy Friday, man. Sorry, if you guys are ready to go, let's go ahead and get this bird back up in the air. Yeah, I do like this this flame paint job for the G58. It's I don't know. I didn't even know that it was in there, and I dug around in the liveries, and I'm like, hey, look at that. I'm not sure the other people in the sim can see me properly, but at least it looks nice on stream. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Let's go ahead and get these birds in the air. Lazerbolt is spooling up and rolling. Like I said, left-hand turn, 5,000 feet, 160 knots, and we'll get to our first destination of Lehigh Valley.
Yeah, both of you are in the white Baron with the blue trim.
Yeah, it gets weird with the model matching sometimes. Even if I'm pretty sure that you actually have this model in your sim.
Yeah, I do. I've flown that
Yeah.
before too. So I do have it. I don't know why it won't do it.
Yeah, it's odd that way. But at least we can see each other in the proper aircraft, so that's kind of nice. The weather has been absolutely beautiful around here lately. A nice 71 degrees we got tonight, and we're loving that.
Wow, we were only 69 today.
That's odd for you guys. You guys usually have about 20 degrees on us.
Yeah, we were 100 2 weeks ago, and so I'll take this. It's about a week early because we're, like I said, we're going camping next weekend. It's
Oh, yeah.
like low 90s when we get up there. But
That's cool. Should be a good time.
Yeah.
That's what you said. You're going to your local state park.
yeah, it's like 10 minutes away just because it's a big, huge group of friends that are all going. So we're all just gonna take off on Thursday and stay till Sunday. But this would have been a perfect weekend to do it.
I got some good news a couple days ago. I went and tried to get my RV started up, and it worked. Started it up. I jumped it with my Camaro just to make sure I had some power, and that's all it was. It just needed a good jump.
Good.
And can't wait to take that out for a little trip here pretty soon. Be enjoying this nice weather we're having. Whoop! I shot right past my indication here, my direction that I'm trying to go. So get back online.
Just following you.
I'll
How
get
high
us
are you
there.
going? Yeah, I got the windows open. It's really windy today. So it's probably like down to 60, 65 now. It's almost cold in here.
Well, that's wild. We had 90 today for our high. It's down to 82 right now, but not window ready.
So you guys that are watching the stream out there, does the stream look like it's going fine? Everything look good to you? I'm having trouble pulling the stream up again.
It's working for me.
That's a pretty nice little ridge line here flying over.
Yeah, there's a little more elevation around here than I was expecting, to be honest.
You flying in Pennsylvania?
We are heading to Boston. Like I said, our first stop is going to be Lehigh International here, Lehigh Valley. And then we're going to Stewart International. Stewart International, I'm looking forward to that because that's one of the bespoke airports that they worked on. It's supposed to be real nice. After that, straight
Yeah.
on to Logan.
Just let you know, in western and northwestern Pennsylvania, there's a little more foothills and things to worry about. Eastern Pennsylvania, not so bad.
Well, I'll have to say they were a little bit off on their specs that they published for this aircraft.
It's always a lot slower than they claim it is. Oh, wait a minute, though.
Yeah,
I'm going super fast. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going 177. I need to slow down here.
Yeah,
I took
that's
off
not what
and I
I'm
just
going
left it buried. I was busy doing something else and didn't even look at my speed. I just leveled out at 5,000 and had an airplane go through me.
That was me. You hit your brakes, and my brakes didn't work as good.
Yeah, I'm going to try to maintain that 160 at 5,000.
Yeah, I'll be able to make. Yeah, it said the cruising speed on this plane was 235 knots, and my yellow bar starts at 180.
God, I'd be surprised if it went that fast. That seems a little bit much.
Oh no,
it does go that fast?
I was hitting. Yeah, I was hitting the yellow bar.
Oh, okay.
But it's not going to hit 235. That's for sure.
See, I see in the chat, AJ says he preferred the 2020 version over the 24 edition. Which, that's a shame. I enjoyed both of them, actually. The 2020 version of it was just great. I didn't know that I needed the 2024 version, but now that it's out and I've been playing it, I absolutely love it. I like the additions they made, you know, the career mode and all that kind of stuff. Even if it's stuff that I don't really tend to use very much, like the career mode. I mean, I'll check it out here and there a little bit. And the walking around part of it, I'm glad they added it. I think this version of the sim is getting a lot more traction than the other one, just because it's a little more accessible for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Not just for hardcore simmers. Everybody likes this game. You know what I'm saying? They're getting exposed to a much bigger audience, and that's nothing but good news for us. The more people that play this game, the more they're going to keep putting into it. You know.
Yeah, I haven't flown 2020 since the last group flight we did in 2020. Still on my hard drive though.
Yeah, me
This
too.
thing is just
Me too. I can't get myself to delete it, although I should. It's freaking huge. I think it's like 160 gigs. You know, I could use that space. But to be honest, half the times when I'm creating a flight plan, I create that flight plan in 2020. It's just easier for me to create a flight plan in 2020 and just port it over to the 2024 version. Is that airplane you got a fixed gear?
yes.
Right on. Then I do believe I'm seeing you properly. AJ VHS asks, do I play Xbox? He's been a PC gamer for 10 years now, and he really wants to get back into Xbox. I am an Xbox guy when it comes to consoles, but I generally play on my PC, you know, which it's kind of like an Xbox, a little bit. The controllers all work with Windows and everything. But yeah, I'm a PC guy for sure. Matter of fact, the only reason I have a console is right now I have a Xbox One. I bought that way back when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, because when that first came out, it was exclusive to consoles for the first year, and I couldn't wait to play it. That looked like something I'd really get a kick out of, and I did. I love that game. So yeah, I bought myself a console just for that one game, and a year later when Red Dead came out on PC, I never turned that console back on. So it just sits there. I haven't turned it on in years. But I use the controller all the time. Yeah, let's get some airport information here for our first stop here at Lehigh Valley. Well, it is recommending runway 24 for me because I have a 5-knot wind. However, I am liking the looks of runway 6 much better. 5-knot wind is pretty negligible. It's not going to throw me off course too bad. We have a long-ass runway also. It's 7,600 feet, way more than we need for this bird. It's asphalt. We only have an elevation of just under 400 feet, so we're good there. Let's go ahead and land on runway 6 when we get to Lehigh, guys. Count on runway 6. Runway 6 does have an ILS approach if you're interested in that. We got a little pen and paper, write down this. The ILS frequency is 110.7. 110.7 for runway 6. The heading of runway 6 would be 63. Hold on a minute, we got a motorcycle outside my window thinking he's fine. Alright, we got a 63 degrees magnetic. 063 magnetic on that. Yeah, I got my window open and I live above a bar, so it can get loud up here. Anyway, count on runway 6 when we get to Lehigh, guys. Got about 75 miles to go.
Has an ILS too.
Uh-oh. I just, what did I do? It says I just deleted AJVHS's messages. What did I do? I wasn't trying to do that. Trust me. Jeez, I was just trying to read your message, so I scrolled up and it said I deleted all of your messages. I hope I didn't block you, AJ. Okay, there you go. At least I said I unhid you, so hopefully you're back to being able to chat with us, AJ. My apologies. Oh, there you go. You're back. You know, AJ, I couldn't agree with you more. That last chat you just made there. Don't worry, you're fine. And as much as underappreciated Rockstar game is the Warriors. I agree. I think Rockstar itself is supremely underappreciated. Those GTA games are absolute masterpieces. They're masterpieces. I don't care what anybody says. People complain about the stupidest crap and about there being weird bugs and blah, 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 blah. But the amount of work they put into those games and the amount of play that you can get out of those games is astonishing. It's absolutely amazing. They work so good and you can do any damn thing you want. And I'm a very not shooter game kind of guy. I don't like shooter games. I just don't. I don't like games where you're running around with guns and shoot everything in sight. It's not my kind of game. However, I love GTA because in my opinion it's not about that. It's not about running around and killing anything. GTA is about you can do anything you want. It's just like life. You can do everything you want. Even if that's just like driving around, listening to music, checking out the cool cars. I got that flying DeLorean that I love. That's just great. So I like spending time in that GTA 5 world and stay out of trouble. You know, try to keep yourself alive because it's very dangerous. Everybody's trying to kill you at all times. And just that makes it exciting, you know. It's much more exciting having a world full of angry humans trying to kill you than angry AI trying to kill you, you know. I mean, we can all fight against the, you know, when there's like an AI opponent in a video game, that's always easy. But you put a human against you and it just raises the stakes. I mean, it's a whole different thing. And yeah, GTA 5 is a very dangerous world, and I love it. I love it. Like I said, even though, I mean, if you looked at my stats, it would be ridiculous. I'm sure I've died 1,000,000 times and I've killed 4 people. My stats got to be just ridiculous. But I love living in that world. It's an absolute masterpiece. I love what they did, and I can't wait for 6. I was going to say, I don't see anybody anymore, but I see Longhorn over there. Are you hanging out with Bob Longhorn?
Yeah.
Right beside you.
Okay. That explains I can only see like one name tag because you guys are kind of on top of each other. Good deal. Just want to make sure I can still see stuff. Like I said, I got the new install of the game up and running. and all that little stuff like POI markers and all that. I'm not sure any of that stuff works for me at the moment. We'll find out. 63 miles till we get to Lehigh Valley. So, did anybody have anything exciting happening this week, or anything good and positive?
I was told to cut the grass.
Oh, there you go. I like cutting grass. Of course, I haven't had grass to cut in a long time, but I do like grass to cut.
It's different when it's suggested to you, like, hey, neighbor cut the grass, the other neighbor cut the grass. What do you reckon you're going to get to it?
Yeah, hint, hint.
Yeah.
So our final stop tonight is going to be Boston. I just kind of relatively chose it randomly. I don't know if anybody's got anything interesting to say about Boston before we get there. Now's the time. I don't know much about Boston. I was sitting there. I usually on Tuesday night I try to come up with a flight plan, and we've been doing this for 14 years straight every Friday. So sometimes I just sit there forever trying to figure out a place to fly to and a reason to fly there. You know, I mean, just it's a big world. You're never going to see it all. But I just was having a hell of a time trying to come up with anything to fly to. And I just happened to be watching a stream and they were talking about Boston. Here was a guy, Jared Ouiet, you know who you are. I think he lives in Boston. And yeah, so I just thought, okay, we're going to Boston. Let's go. Just a reminder, when we get to Lehigh Valley, we're going to be landing runway 6, so count on that. So we're relatively straight in, kind of, not much. We're going to have to go a little bit to the south to make it straight in for us, but not much. Yeah, we went, had a big change in the weather almost immediately around here for the last couple months. Well, the whole spring so far has just been kind of cold. We've had 50s and 60 degree weather. All of a sudden today it's like 70. Well, it started maybe a day or two ago. 70 degrees, and that's just perfect. Perfect comfort zone at 71. It starts getting into 80 degrees. That's a little bit much because it gets a little humid here by Lake Michigan. But just beautiful weather. I've been loving it. Said it's really making me want to break my RV out too, and I'm going to be planning a trip for the near future for sure. Not sure where I'm going, but going to be someplace nice, and it's going to be out in the woods.
Yeah, I guess it'd be a good time to do it. Throw some steaks on the grill or what?
Yep, exactly. Good steak on the grill, can't beat that. Maybe find a lake or a river to dip my toes into. Bob, do you know about how much that Dirty 30 goes for right now?
As far as I know, it's still $24.99 or $25. I'd have to go on the website and take a look.
Oh, right on. That's the only way to get it at the moment, isn't it? From the website. It's not on the marketplace. Yeah. I'll definitely have to check that out later on tonight, because that's a bird I'm super interested in. Did they give you any kind of documentation on it, like how to work that flight computer and stuff like that?
There in the tablet that it has, you can access the user's manual for it. That's like 77 pages.
Oh, all right, cool. Because I know that flight computer, I saw a video of a guy messing with it, and that was some pretty complicated stuff, man. It's going to take a while to figure that all out, but it's going to be satisfying.
I tracked down some of my problems a little bit.
Oh, do tell, please.
There's a update for the SSD from called 28150WD, and it requires an update, a firmware update to the SSD before you can install the Windows Update 24H2, and that's where I got caught. So I gotta back out my firmware updates for
I see.
my drives.
Yeah, I thought, yeah, you were mentioning something about this kind of all started during a firmware update. That
I got the link on it. Yeah.
Oh, good deal. Well, yeah, good luck on that. We'd love to see you back up in the skies. Well, we got our good buddy Captain Hopper hopping in and saying airplane. Well, airplane right back to you, buddy. Good to see you, man. Happy Friday. How did your stream go earlier? I caught a piece of it. Those of you who don't know who Captain Hopper is, he's a fine fella. He does a little streaming over on Twitch. He's over there a couple days a week. It's a great time to catch him. I believe his Twitch stream is spelled just like it is right here in the chat. Go check him out one of these times. He's always playing something interesting.
Hey, I just pulled up Blackbird Sims website. They're on the 3rd update, and it's up to $34.99 right now.
Right on. Better hurry up and hop on that before it goes way up to 100. I doubt it'll be that much when it's finished, but yeah, they did warn us that every update they're going to increase the price a little, so that's fair. You know? Yeah, Captain Hopper, the flight goes good. Yeah, we're having a good old time today. We're on our way to Boston. First, we're going to stop at a little place called Lehigh Valley. Not too awful far from that. We're only about 42 miles out. Another 20 miles or so, I'm going to bring her down. Yeah, should be a good time. Nice day for flying. For those of you who have ever watched my Star Wars Day videos, you might recognize Captain Hopper. In my Star Wars Day videos, he's Captain Skyhopper, and he's one of the major players in the story. And yeah, I always appreciate his participation. His character's a lot of fun. Well, AJ, you have a good night too, buddy. It was nice to meet you through the chat and everything like that. And we're here every Friday. If you got a chance to stop in, say hi. And I appreciate you watching the videos. I really do. Thanks, guy. Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Like I said, we're here every Friday, so we're hard to miss. It's hard to believe we've been doing this for 14 years. I just started streaming it maybe 5 years ago. Of course, for the first couple years, I didn't stream on YouTube at all. I was just streaming over on Twitch. I would get 1 or 2 or 3 people watching the stream, and I switched over here to YouTube, and it gets a lot more traction over here. I should have done this a long time ago. I was trying to raise my watch hours on my channel, and I just didn't have any ideas of how to do that. And I thought, you know what, how about instead of streaming on Twitch, I'll stream on YouTube, and even if just 2 or 3 people watch, it'll still increase my watch hours. But it had a huge impact. it really made a huge impact. I wish I did this years ago, so I appreciate everybody who watches. Yeah, the terrain around here is getting a lot more interesting than it was back near Fort Knox and all that. That was just a bunch of flat area with fields and everything. Like I said, at least around here we got a little bit of elevation. We've got some water going on. Got some pretty cities here sprinkled around.
Going east-west in Pennsylvania is the preferred way to move. Going north-south is miserable.
Why is that?
I tried it.
The roads, or is it just the traffic?
The roads.
Or what?
The roads. I went from. I had to go through north-south to Pennsylvania to go to Washington D.C. from, from up where I am in Lake area
Right.
there. And there's only the only place they could go through is the baseball town. I had to go through it. It was tough
right,
to get
Allentown?
Yeah, I went there. I worked in Allentown for a little while, but we had a plant there. It's tough going north south through Pennsylvania, especially in the western half of Pennsylvania, because there's not many roads at all that go north south.
There's not much chance I'm going to head that direction anytime soon. Every time I do a bunch of research on, I'm trying to get a little more use out of my RV, like where's all the good places to go RVing, they always say stay out of New England, don't go that way, don't even go that direction, it sucks there, there's no place to camp, the roads are terrible, many of the roads are not equipped for a large vehicle like that, so it's just you'll get stuck, and it's just, they say just don't do it, don't go to New England to go camping. And it's like, I probably wasn't going to anyway, but that punches it.
Well, there are good places here in New York for going camping, like the Adirondacks and all that good stuff, but and down the Allegheny Mountains, which is in northern Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
That's where we used to
New
go.
York State actually has a lot more open land than people think it is. People think
Oh,
New
yeah.
York State and they think, oh, it's just one big city. It's like, no, it's a
On the
that
western
includes
half,
Buffalo and everything. New York State's pretty big.
on the western half, it's mostly small farms and small towns. Yeah, I've been through I've lived in the western New York for all my life.
Nice.
The Bills are back too. They're gonna do good this year.
The Bills are going to be good this year, you think? What, did they
Oh,
make
yeah.
any big changes in the offseason? I mean, I know you guys were already pretty solid last year, especially that quarterback you all got.
They worked on the defense this year.
Good. I think that's what our Lions did this year, too. A lot of defense working on. Which, we needed to. Out of the blue, we lost our center, our all-pro center there, that he just decided to retire young. Which, you can't blame the guy. He's probably got lots of money, and he still has his health. So, yeah, those offensive linemen just get the hell beat out of him. So, hey, if he wants to retire, good for the guy, good for him. But that left a huge hole, because, like I said, we've had him for years, and he was an absolute beast. Now, we're about 25 miles out. In another 5 miles or so, I'm going to drop her down to 3,000 feet, and we're going to get ready for that runway 6. I am also going to jog a few degrees off to the right. Let's go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to turn to a heading of 120. 120. And dropping her down to 3,000.
I'm already down here.
Yeah, I saw you down there at my 1 o'clock. Don't know where you are at the moment. Sure is a lot of traffic around here. Any of you guys planning on doing that ILS approach? Myself, I am not. I think we won't have any trouble getting there. But it's always fun
Yeah, I'm
doing
gonna
it.
give it a shot with this airplane. Never tried it in this one before.
What is that again? You said some kind of Cessna?
No, the Corvallis 400.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. leveling out at 3,000. So we're only about a week out-ish, give or take a few days, to 4th of July already. It's hard to believe. That usually feels like, you know, it's kind of towards the end of summer, but it doesn't feel like it this year. It feels like summer just started yesterday. Big plans, anybody? Big plans? Anybody going, doing something fun for 4th of July? Myself, I'm probably just going to stay home and watch the fireworks. But
I take the boat out on the lake to watch the fireworks from the lake.
I know that sounds like fun.
yeah, it does. Yeah, they shoot the fireworks off over the lake here too, in my town. Which I usually I go up on my roof here, and I'm right next to the lake. It gives me an awesome view of the fireworks. We usually have a little party up there, 3 or 4 of us hanging out, and have a couple cocktails.
Yeah, they have a big barge that they float out into the lake and launch them all from the barge over the lake.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it nowadays.
Especially around here. Freaking tinderbox.
We're roughly 10 miles out from Lehigh Valley. Keep your eyes peeled for that airport. I think I see where it's going to be. There's an airplane parked over there already. Well, as a matter of fact, I see the runway, I think. Unless there's another airport real close to it.
Yeah, there is another airport before that.
Well, I'm going to turn to final here. Should be kind of pointing right down the pipe. Happy to report, since I switched over to Steam, everything seems to be working great. I didn't have any problems on GamePass, but like I said, I just purchased the full version of the game over on Steam, and that's what I'm using today for the first time. And yeah, happy to report everything's smooth as so.
That's good.
I see our buddy Travis is playing 7 Ways to Die instead of joining us in the air. Shame on you, Travis.
Why, that rascal.
Yep, since I'm playing on Steam, I can spy on him and see that he's playing something else.
There's a lot of industry out here.
Yeah, there is.
Big warehouse.
Yeah, that's what we do around here. We make stuff.
Well, it's like rush hour on the freeway down there.
This is going gear down. Yeah, I kind of made it easy on myself this time as I was setting up my controls, because a problem I used to have is every time I would set my controls up the way I like it, there was always conflicts, and then I would have to go and try to track down the conflicts. And one of the things I had the first couple flights I did, as soon as I loaded into the game in the new sim here, my engine shut off, and it didn't matter what airplane I was in. I thought it was a C-130 thing, but it was any aircraft. As soon as I hopped in, the engine shut off. Turned out that was a condition lever was set to something odd on my stick. It was probably set to something good on my stick, but it wasn't where I wanted it. And I kept turning off my condition levers. I would shut off my engine. So before I even started mapping my controls, I went through on each control. I opened up every single control option, and I deleted them all. Deleted every single last one, and I only mapped the ones I wanted. And that kind of saved me a lot of time. Here you go. I didn't even read what it was I was deleting. I just deleted everything. Went right down the list. If there was something assigned to it, I unassigned it. And then just started with a clean slate and started, okay, now let's do the gear, let's do the flap, let's do the trim, let's do your heading bug, I just went right down the list of all the stuff that I normally like. And yeah, it was a good way to do it. It saved me some time.
For some reason, I couldn't lock onto that ILS at all. It was turning me all the way away from it.
Did you have your heading bug, your course setting?
Yeah, 063. It didn't like it.
I've got a jumbo jet taxiing out onto the runway right now. Hope my brakes are good.
FedEx. Well, there's also American Airlines out there. For an airport I've never heard of before. It sure gets a lot of commercial traffic here.
I didn't think it'd be this big, but it's pretty big.
Because I'm seeing FedEx, American Airlines. I see United Airlines up above. I don't know if they're just flying over, if they're coming in here, and then whatever RPA is. It's a big area.
Yeah, it is. This runway's, we can land 4 wide on here. It's a big one. Lazerbolt is clear to the left. I'm going to back taxi at the beginning of runway 6, and we're going to be taking off from there in a couple minutes, and everybody gets down. Nice short landing there, wing nut. Pull up a stool here and we'll watch Longhorn come in like a professional.
I had a bus and a truck with stair wheel right in the middle of the runway when I came in.
Yeah, there seem to be all kinds of traffic on this runway, including airplanes and cars and buses and everything. Honestly, I think that jumbo jet was just like crossing the runway. That's all he was doing. And then he went back to the same side of the runway he started on. Very odd.
That bus is sitting right in front of you, to me anyway.
He's not
right
even
on the
moving,
runway. Right square in the middle of the runway.
Give Longhorn something to aim for.
I probably won't even see him.
No, probably not. I don't see him either. See Longhorn on a half-mile final. And that new airplane he's flying around. How do you like that plane so far?
I like it. I flew a couple of missions in career mode, I think, for like ferry flight. But it's nice. It's very easy to fly, very maneuverable, very fast.
It's all good stuff.
Right.
Right on the center line. Good deal, buddy.
Yeah, that's where the ILS brought me.
I'm looking over a Wingnut's plane, and I love how I can see his name on the side of the plane. That's always awesome.
Yeah, yours says Lion. Is that intentional?
Yeah, that's my call sign, or not my call sign, but that's my flight number there. Go Lions!
Oh, makes sense now.
Yep. That's why in the game they call me Lazerbolt Lima 1 Oscar November when I'm talking to ATC. Sometimes they shorten it to 1 Oscar November, which I've seen them do that in real life, so I guess it's no big deal. I know they're talking to me. All right, let's go ahead and take this runway back. We'll get out of here in about a minute. Our next destination should be pretty nice. We're heading to Stewart International, and it's one of those star airports that they worked on and went over it with a fine-tooth comb, made it look real nice.
I just zoomed out on the EFB, and there's probably 100 aircraft around us.
Yeah, I noticed that. They're everywhere. And those are just like real-world aircraft, too. I don't have AI aircraft set up. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get these birds out of here. We're pretty much straight ahead. We don't need to turn left or right or anything. I think we can climb back up to 5,000 feet and maintain 160 knots. And laser bolts roll. Yeah, I don't know if Captain Hopper is still listening or not, but Captain, I would love you to join us one of these days. We've flown together before. I know you're a good pilot. I'd love to have you with us. I don't even know if you have the game, but I'm pretty sure you got GamePass. Climbing to 5,000. Sounds like it's going to be a very busy at the bar downstairs tonight. There's a lot of people in town walking around. It usually means it's going to be a busy one. Now that summer's coming up, I already know the busiest days you're going to see at the bar is when it's like a nice day and then it starts raining. Everybody heads inside. So here's a question for you guys. Is there any kind of a default aircraft that you're particularly in love with and wish that we would fly more around here? Any ideas? What should we fly next week? I usually stick to the G58 or the Hercules or the Goose or occasionally that's C-47.
Pretty much covers that. It just depends on how far we're flying.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
if we're doing a lot of sightseeing and it's not a long flight, then even a 172 would suffice for that. But
Yeah.
really,
That's usually what I
it
go
just depends
by.
on the plan.
But between those 4 aircraft, we can cover everything. If we're doing water landings, we're in the Goose, you know. And if,
Well, now that you've got the full version, you ought to look into that Albatross, which is the step up of the Goose.
oh, right on, right on. I didn't even notice that. I was looking through the list of aircrafts, or I was looking through after they were installed. I was looking through it, and I didn't
Well, it
notice
looks
that
a lot
one, but
like
it's got
the
to be in
Goose.
there.
It's just a little bigger.
Right. Yeah, I do like that Albatross. I had a version of that I flew years ago in regular old FSX, and it was wonderful. It was very much like the Goose. It even flew like the Goose, and had similar speed characteristics and stuff like that. But it's about 4 times bigger.
Yeah, it's got autopilot. It's got flies, handles real well, and
That's
I
good.
even like the DC-3. That's a nice airplane to fly too.
Right on. I
It's
do
old,
like a
one-
good
it's
autopilot.
fun.
One thing that I have not flown since switching over to 2024 is the helicopters.
I hate them things.
Yeah. I think I tried that gimbal
I kind of
once.
like them. They're
Yeah.
they're good for sightseeing, and I did them a lot in 2020, but I just
Yeah.
haven't bothered with them in 2024 yet.
Right. I mean, I guess it
haven't
all
done any
depends
of
on
it.
where we're going. But yeah, I'm not a big crazy fan. It's difficult to fly a helicopter for 2.5 hours. You know what I mean? To do a group
Yeah.
flight, because you can't take your eyes off the screen. You take your eyes off the screen, you're heading a whole different direction now. You know, you got to pay attention for 2.5 hours straight, hands on the stick. Yeah, that's a bit much.
Okay, how about that blimp? Does that have an autopilot in it?
I don't know. The blimp
I haven't even-
probably wouldn't need an autopilot. It might have one, but yeah, the blimp. You know, we used to do blimp flights way back in the day. Our buddy Storm, back in the day, he did a little work on one of the blimp models. It was a Zeppelin version of it, not the big World War II Zeppelins, but the Zeppelin company made some regular sized blimps. And we flew that around for a while. It was great. We had a couple group flights. They're super slow. I mean, it was funny. Like you'd get over a freeway and you'd go down up over the freeway, and the cars are driving faster than you. That's kind of funny, you know, where the cars are going to get there before you do. But it was
Like
great
a
fun
hot air
flying.
balloon.
It was a lot of fun. We had a good time. I made a couple videos of it too.
Yeah, I did fly the hot air balloon once, but I couldn't control where that thing went, so
I don't even have any desire to fly that stupid thing.
that's just for sightseeing, just to kind
Yeah,
of like
of
kick
course.
back and look. It's definitely not meant for travel.
No. I do see that we got a POI up ahead of us. That's good beans that it actually shows for me. I'm wondering what it is. Is it worth jogging off to the left to see whatever the hell that is?
Well, let's see what it pops in for a name on it. Well, that's good. The CFB made it nice to get my flight plan back into my GPS, because when I put in the ILS for that airport, it wiped out my flight plan,
Oh,
and so then it kept wanting me to go round and round the airport. So I just went back in the EFB and just said send it to avionics. It actually sent it this time, so
oh, good deal.
it popped right in and back on track.
You know, at first I wasn't sure what to think of that EFB. I was a little salty over it, actually. I was like, I don't like this stupid thing. What the hell? This is dumbass. You know, overcomplicating things and blah, blah, blah. And then the more I started using it, the more I was like, okay, this is not overcomplicating things. This is exactly what we've been needing for years. This is perfect. When it used to be, literally, if you wanted to input your flight plan, you'd have to, like, exit the game and then start from scratch and then reload back in, and who knows where you are by that time, you know? It'd be hard to keep up if you fell behind.
Yeah, I like how you can just go on your flight plan on the EFB and scroll down to the airport you're getting ready to land at and hit the information and find out everything
Yep.
you need to know about the airport. The only thing they don't tell you on that information screen is whether they have lights or not. I wish they would add
Yeah.
that.
That's pretty handy info. That's important.
Okay, so
So my push to talk button's real squeaky. I need to figure out how to fix that.
well, Stewart's also considered a large airport.
Yeah, it's a pretty big one. It should look nice too. It's one of those bespoke ones. It's got a big gold star next to it. We're only 51 miles out. So how about when we get to Stewart International, we go ahead and land on runway 9er, only because it's pretty straight in. I've only got a 4-knot wind, so that should be a big deal. It's a huge runway, 11,000 feet, almost 12,000 feet of asphalt. So we're going to just do runway 9er when we get there. There is also an ILS frequency here. If you want to retry that ILS landing, write this down. The frequency is 110.1. 110.1 for the ILS feather, and that will be at a heading of 91 degrees magnetic. So count on 91 degrees magnetic for runway 9er. Hey Bob, how you doing? See you pulled up back there.
Right behind you. Use my prop to chew your tail off.
There you go. I don't need the whole thing anyway. You guys been seeing any ads for that movie called F1? Like the F1 Formula One racing kind of thing? There's a new movie with Brad Pitt. Anyway, that looks pretty good. It's directed by the same guy that directed Top Gun Maverick, so he really knows how to do that in the cockpit, sense of speed kind of cinematography. He's real good at that. I've heard lots of good stuff, and there's not too many movies that want me to see it in the theater nowadays, but I'd kind of like to see that in the theater. It looks pretty good. And it looks like it would be awesome on a big screen. It's just in time too, because formula racing is becoming pretty popular all of a sudden. I've noticed. I mean, I've always been into motorsports a little bit, more of a NASCAR guy, just because all my friends are NASCAR guys. But it does look pretty. It does look pretty good. That Formula One has really kind of picked up lately, and they're getting a lot of press. They've got a lot of real characters that are racing Formula One now, and the press loves that. They've got this one racer. His name is Lando. He had me as soon as I heard that name. I'm like, yep, that's my guy. That's the guy I'm rooting for, Lando.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on it. But I don't have Netflix. Is that what you said it's on, or is that going to be in theaters?
It's going to be in theaters. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, it's very few and far between where there's a movie that makes me actually want to go to the theater anymore. And that's one of them. That looks pretty good. I've heard nothing but good stuff. "41 miles out, guys." And a reminder too, it's hard to believe it's already that time for our second stop of the evening, but this is going to be our penultimate stop when we get there. We'll take a 10-minute break. Kind of ready for a break. I'm going to trade this coffee in for a cocktail. Runway 9er is relatively straight in. We are going to jog to the north just a little bit of the pink line to help us line up. Be aware that there is an airport, Kilo Mike Golf something something, that is right before Stewart International. I mean, right over it. We're going to be passing right by it. Don't be fooled. That's not the one we're landing at. We're landing at the one that's right before the river, Stewart International. I still don't see any information on that POI. It's just a little too far away. Oh, look off to the right. There's all kinds of POIs over there. It must be a city. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about Flight Sim 2024 when I'm making the flight plan. I actually made this flight plan in a rare move, made it in 2024 just to do it, like I said, because I just bought the full game. And it doesn't show you the POIs. I mean, I know sometimes it does and sometimes it don't. Maybe there's a setting, but I don't know. I didn't notice any POIs on route. I might have checked some of these out if I'd seen them on the map.
Well, it may not be any, but I've seen them before, and just in the EFB when I was looking up routes to fly.
Really? In the EFB they show up even? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's all kinds of them over to the right. There's 5 of them over there.
No, I
There's
didn't
one
mean
to
the EFB, but I mean on the map.
Oh, right, before you start. I know I've seen them on there before too. There might be a filter where you can add them and take them off. I didn't see any on there this time. Maybe I should check that next flight plan. Like I said, I like checking out those POIs. They're often pretty cool. Yeah, I'm already starting to get sunset colors over here. I might want to adjust my time.
Time did you take off?
Oh, it's 1,800 hours, maybe 1,900, I forget.
Oh, okay, so I took off the 1735.
Right on. Yeah, I just noticed that it said it got about the latest I wanted it to get was about 2,100 hours. So I just backed it up 2 hours, maybe 2.5. But yeah, like I said, I've already got some evening colors going on. I might want to check that when I get down on the ground. It's going to be dark before we get to the last airport. Although, flying around the city of Boston at nighttime might be pretty cool.
You are aware today is the summer solstice.
Oh, it is, isn't it? You checking out that POI wingnut?
No, I just kind of drifted off to the left.
Oh, right on. I couldn't tell how far away to the left you went. I'm just curious. It hasn't told me what it is yet. It's probably the coolest thing we ever saw, and we flew right past it. Okay, we are 21 miles out from Stewart International. I'm going to jog to the left just a few degrees here. And yeah, another couple miles, I'm going to bring this bird down to 3,000.
Yeah, none of these are POIs over here. They're all either helicopter pads or airports.
Are they? Because I can clearly see one POI marker.
Yeah, that's all I have turned on. So I see.
Yeah.
It's too cloudy now for me to see, but I did see that there was one out there somewhere.
Yeah, I never quite got close enough for it to tell me what it was. Just a reminder, you might see Kilo Mike Golf Juliet at some point. As a matter of fact, I'm flying right down the pipe right now. I could land if I wanted. But don't go there. That's not where we're going. We're going to to Stewart International. That would be Kilo Sierra Whiskey Foxtrot. That's where we're heading to. We don't need to jog too far to the north, actually, just a little bit, because we're kind of straight in. This will get us there. I'm going to go ahead and begin my descent down to 12,000, or 3,000, that is, 12,000. Dropping it down to 3. As much as I like this Baron, I'm already missing that C-130. I'm thinking we might go back to the C-130 flight next week, possibly. I've also been thinking I want to maybe take these Barons and just go south, go find some tropical island and fly around somewhere. Oh, we didn't see Split Horse again this week. I wonder what happened to him. He was becoming quite the regular, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, gone.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. We've flown with him way back in the day, probably 15, 16 years ago when we first started the msflights.net community. He was one of the regulars back then, so he comes and goes.
Yeah, he may find his way back. I enjoyed flying with him.
We're at about 10 miles away from Stewart International. A reminder, when we get down on runway 9er, back taxi to the beginning of it, and we'll take a 10-minute break. And a reminder for anybody listening or watching the stream later on, please join us one of these days. We'd love to have you. We're easy to hang out with. We fly pretty simple flight plans. We usually just do a direct to the airport, so we don't do any like approach procedures or anything like that. We don't mess with ATC. So it's pretty easy to fly with us. We just have a good time and shoot the shit for a couple hours. And you can get the game on GamePass if you'd like to get it there, and you can get all the information in the group flight info channel. Right here in Discord. That will include a PLN file that you can pop into your GPS and make everything work like that. And all the information is also in the description of the video you're watching right now. So please don't be shy. Go ahead and join us one of these days. We would love to have you. And like and subscribe and hit the bell and all that kind of good stuff. And that would just make everybody happy.
I'm gonna be checking out right now, guys. I gotta look through my BIOS, UEFI, and everything else on my motherboard.
Yeah, that UEFI is usually related to drives for sure. It's so yeah. I'm glad to hear that there's actually a little light at the end of this tunnel. You might get this figured out sooner.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure it out or commit computer side. You know.
Right. Well, we miss seeing you in the air, buddy. I hope you get that computer squared away soon, and have a good weekend, man.
Yeah. Well, if not, you're gonna get a new graphics card.
I'm pretty sure.
See you later, guys.
Yeah. Well, have a good night, Coast.
Have a good one.
See you, Coast.
Yeah, it's
Take
always
care.
a pleasure, man. Lasers on 3-mile final, runway 9.
Behind you just shortly.
Hey, my outer marker just went off.
That's a good sign. Huh, there's a big crane over there to the right. Big construction crane. Alrighty, Lazerbolt's going to exit to the right, and we'll pull up on runway 9er.
Well, those speed brakes work pretty good.
It is funny how the C-130 has a way better turn when it's taxiing than this thing does. It doesn't turn very well. That C-130, you could turn it on a dime.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's weird. I just got an error from YouTube Studio saying YouTube Studio is not responding, but I'm watching the stream. Everything looks good. Everything still look good?
I still see it. I got it running in the the small one in Discord you put there.
Right on. Well, I'm going to ignore the message for now then. Oh, the message went away. Sorry guys, it's 25 past the hour right now. At 35 past the hour, we're not on the runway, we're in the air. So take 10 minutes, grab yourself a snack and a drink, and use the restroom if you need to, and pet the dog or whatever you got to do. And we will be out of here in 10 minutes on the nose. Well, Longhorn, I think you got the hang of that bird already. That was a pretty nice landing.
Another ILS.
The ILS worked fine, huh?
Oh, yep. Brought me right down the center line.
Glide slope and everything?
Yep.
Attaboy.
Mine worked this time.
It did. Last try on. Well, good deal.
Yeah, last one didn't work too well. All right, I'll be back. I'm gonna go get a drink.
Get one for me.
Right.
I should have asked what we're drinking.
Yeah, I must have Longhorn as a substitution because I don't see the name on the side of his airplane. That's usually a good sign that it's a sub, if it's just got that white block instead of the name. It looks right though. I mean, it's not hovering above the ground. It's a tripod, low wing, just like it's supposed to be, single engine. So it's close. They did a good job with model matching. I don't know why they gave me that though, because I'm pretty sure I have that airplane. Check my time here. Alrighty, boys, I'm going to roll out onto the runway and get prepared to roll out of here, fly out here, as it were. I'm going to get out of here in about 3 minutes. I think 5,000 should do it again. Perfect altitude.
That is a good looking airplane Longhorn's got there. He was parked right beside me.
Yeah, I wish I could see it properly. I've got a substitute for him. It still looks nice. It looks proper, but it ain't right. Yeah, we'll do the same thing we did in the first couple legs. 5,000 feet at 160 knots, and that will get us there. I'm sure Boston is full of POIs, so once we get to Boston, we might as well do a lap, check everything out really good before we land.
I just put a picture of my plane in the.
Yeah, I see it. It looks gray to me when you're next to me, and I see it as gray and blue.
Okay, yeah,
But
that looks like
same,
that
I
is.
see it.
That is what I see you as, yeah. Except I don't have your tail number. Usually that means that it's a model matching issue. That looks like what I got you in. Okay, cool. That thing does look fast, don't it? Got that torpedo shape. Guys, we're going to be up in the air in 30 seconds. 30 seconds, 5,000 feet, 160 knots.
I expected more air traffic at this airport.
Well, I'll bet you that next one's going to be loaded. Logan International, that's a biggie.
Yeah, I have the Fly Tampa version of it, so mine will be detailed.
Right on. Alright guys, it is time to get this show on the road. Let's get these birds in the air. Lazerbolt's rolling. As we fly out of here, we don't need to turn too awful much. We're pretty much on course already. Maybe a little bit to the right. Make that left. Not much.
When checked, it's 60 degrees outside. My wife was complaining it's getting cold. Had to close the windows.
Really? Yeah, that's kind of chilly for you guys, isn't it?
Yep. Probably 20 degrees cooler than we're supposed to be. But I'll take it, because I know what's coming this summer.
Oh yeah, it gets hot. You don't need to worry about that. That is a doozy of an intersection down there, isn't it? Holy moly, look at that clover leaf. Not even a clover leaf.
Snazzy looking double bridge over the river there. You didn't see that?
Oh hell yeah, look at that. That does look pretty nice. That almost looks like we could go under it, doesn't it? We should.
Probably could have.
Let's do it. I'm going. All the bridges we saw last week were kind of like solid. Not this one. Okay.
Man, I found some in Germany. That was really nice.
500.
Oh, there's plenty of room. Woo-ha! I see Track 70 asks if I'm on update 2 or 3. I'm on the latest update. I'm not sure which one that would be. I'm not on the test update or nothing like that. I'm on the actual full update. I don't do the beta testing. Mostly because if you're in the beta test version, you can't fly multiplayer with people who aren't on the test version. So yeah, we're doing, I believe, what update would that be, guys? 2?
We're on 2.
Yeah, and they're getting ready to roll out 3.
I don't know. They're still having some issues.
Well, eventually they're going to roll out 3.
Yeah, eventually they will. They had two updates in the last week or two.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to figure out an issue with it, like coming to a crawl, especially at like big airports.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the test versions just because you can't fly with everybody else in multiplayer, and that's a no-go for me. I got to do these Friday flights, man. I got to fly with my friends. Otherwise, we'd be in the same boat as Travis right now. That's why he's not flying with us, because he downloaded the beta version and then he couldn't uninstall it to fly with us again. He's stuck with this version until it comes out. Alright, get back on track. Man, this G58 though, it always looks like it's so beat up. My airplane looks like it is just beat to hell.
Gives it character.
It does. It's got a lot of character. I tell you what, it's all dented up and yep, pretty rough. Alright, laser's climbing 5,000, holding 160. Yeah, like I said, when we get to Boston, we'll spend a minute and do a lap around there and check out all the POIs or whatnot. When it's time to land, I'm kind of counting on runway 9. There is no ILS at runway 9, it's just pretty much straight in. Actually, by the time we get to the city and check it out, it won't be straight in anymore. So, pretty much just land wherever the hell you want, whatever's straightest in. We'll figure it out when we get there and do a lap around the place. But for now, keep in mind runway 9. Of course, it's Logan International. There's tons of runways to pick from.
I've landed there a number of times.
In real life?
Yep.
Right on. Yeah, that's
You
one
have
of
to
them
go-
I've not landed at in real life.
You know, when you leave, or after you land and you leave the airport, you go through a tunnel that goes underneath the harbor.
Oh yeah? That's cool.
Yep. Forget how long is this? I think it's like 4 or 5 miles long. It's just you're in this tunnel and you don't realize that you're like probably 50 feet, maybe 100 feet below the water.
You wouldn't want that to flood.
No, that would be a pretty pretty bad situation if that thing ever sprung a leak. That tunnel's gonna fill. And you come out and all of a sudden you're like right in the heart of Boston.
Cool. Like a whole different setting from where you left.
Yep. Well, because the airport was built on, I think they built up the land and stuff out there in the water to make the airport. And so you're like on this huge flat thing out in the middle of the ocean, or flat land or whatever where the airport is, and then you go into this tunnel and you come back out 7 or 8, maybe 10 minutes later, and it's all of a sudden you're looking at the city of Boston. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Neat. Well, you guys are about 1.5 miles ahead of me. I am catching up quickly. I'll be there momentarily.
Yeah, I'm holding down at about 130. I just went over top of Longhorn here.
Right on. Well, you don't need to go too slow. I'll catch you.
So looks like the only runways with ILS is 4 right, 22 left.
Kind of surprised that's the only ones.
I know, because there's what, 6 runways? Well, 3 runways, 6 directions.
And like I said, after we do a little sightseeing around the city, I'm not sure which direction's going to be straight in anymore. We'll figure it out.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, actually 33 left, 15 right is also on ILS. So got those 2 to choose from. So 2 of the 4 strips have ILS.
All right, well, that's not too bad. All I noticed was runway 9, the closest to straight in, didn't.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
you know
oil
what?
splatters.
Yep. Sorry, Longhorn?
I have oil splatters all over my wing.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Yeah, they're black bugs. It was clean
boy.
when I left. I hope I don't have something leaking.
You know, we were talking a couple weeks ago about the airplane wake turbulence, and there is a settings for that. I noticed it when I was going through all my new install. I turned it on, so I should have wake turbulence behind aircraft. I put it on low. It goes by what your turbulence setting is set to. Usually the turbulence gets out of hand a little bit. During a group flight, I didn't want it to be too crazy. So I put it on low. Hey, Wingnut, what's up?
Oh, there you are.
I went under you and above Longhorn. Alright, maintaining 160.
Yeah, when we were coming back from Needles, probably, 3 weeks ago now, and ran into like a panic situation almost, because, I'm actually, no, we were on our way to Needles, and following behind a semi, and it's not an interstate, but it was a state highway, 4-lane highway, and it was starting to get dark, probably 6 o'clock, or probably 7 o'clock, and it just started to get dusk. And I started to get this splatter on my windshield, and it had a chemically smell. And here I am worried that, oh shit, is there something going on with my truck? What the heck is going on?
Right.
And
Transmission going out.
Ended up pulling off the highway at the next exit and went and pulled over, and then cleaned my windshield off. When I got going, it wasn't there anymore. So something in that truck was leaking some kind of chemical that was spraying all over my windshield.
Does it smell like brake fluid maybe, or tranny fluid?
I don't know.
Freon?
It had a very, very pungent, no, it wasn't Freon. Freon doesn't have much smell, but it had a very oily, chemically smell, and it was like really oily. And it was just like, at first I thought they were bugs, because these little tiny mist of drops just like started splattering on my windshield. And it's like, my truck's not very old, so it's like, it better not be my truck. And here we are pulling a trailer somewhere where we've never been before.
Yeah, well, hopefully that wasn't something that guy needed real bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I had no way to tell him.
Yeah, it's about time for me to do a complete top to bottom inspection of my RV there before I take it anywhere. Check everything, check the tire pressure. Well, let's see, it's got those double tires on it, so that's kind of a pain in the ass to even deal with. Definitely want to check my transmission fluid, make sure that's all on the up and up. And one thing I got going for me is the guy that owned it before me, my uncle, took real good care of it. He did all of its all of the updates you need to do to it. It's a once a year inspections and all that kind of stuff. Producer Steve is here in the audience. Howdy, howdy. He says, happy Friday. Hope you're having a great flight. We are having a great flight. It's been pretty good. Our next destination is going to be Boston itself. So, I don't know if Jared Ouellette's watching, but he should be, because we're going to his hometown. And we're going to see just how cool it is and see if it's as cool as he says it is. That's one thing about people from Boston. They're very proud of their place there. Of course, that's not unusual for any place. Yeah, Producer Steve, hopefully you've been having a good evening, good Friday night here. You know what I just realized? We have 116 miles to go. This is a very long leg. Why don't we increase our altitude up to about 8,000? Gain a couple more thousand of altitude, and then we'll get some better ground speed. We'll still maintain 160. Didn't realize this last leg was so much longer than the rest of them. Producer Steve is living the dream, and that's a good dream right there on a Friday night. What do you think about it? What could be better? Cocktail in hand, joystick in the other hand, hanging out with my buddies, flying around. That's a pretty good Friday right there. That's why I keep doing it. Yeah, I've told a few people that they always talk about how old they're getting and all this kind of stuff because they're almost 50 or whatever. There's one guy in particular, a guy I really like, Ken Knapsack. I told him, well, hell, come fly with us, you know. When was the last time you were in an online environment playing an online game? You're the youngest guy there. If he's not 50 yet, he'd be the youngest guy by far.
Well, Travis.
Yeah, except for Travis, that's true. Now, how old is Travis? Did we ever ask him? I'm not even sure he's 40 yet.
No, he's born in 1992. So that would make him, what, 25, 30, 33?
Okay, right on. He's been flying with us for about 12 years, so yeah, we knew him when he was just a kid. We knew him when he was still in flight school. Yeah, it was like right after high school he went to flight school, and so he's a bona fide actual pilot now. Well, at least has the papers to prove it. Alrighty, laser's leveled out at 8,000. I'm going to bring my speed down to 160. Actually, up to 160. Didn't realize I was going that slow. Of course, climbing will do that to you. I'm in the clouds now, and I even raised them up. I'm predicting the traffic at this airport is going to be insane. It's Logan International, that's pretty busy there.
Yeah, on a Friday night, depending on when you're landing. I mean, I'll probably be landing. See, what time do I have? Well, it's 23:20 UTC. So that's about, what, 19:30 or so? So yeah, so late afternoon, early evening on a Friday night in Boston. Yeah.
Pretty busy. Yeah, like I said, I never in real life never flew out of Boston International or Logan International, never at all. Went through Atlanta a number of times. I mean, if you're in the Midwest and you fly anywhere, you're going to go through Atlanta. It's just the way it is. Every flight goes through Atlanta. It doesn't matter which direction you're heading. Of course, I've been to Chicago O'Hare a whole bunch of times. That's right there.
Well, anytime I had to fly out of Toledo, we always had to stop somewhere. Usually we end up stopping in Pittsburgh, but a few of them went through Chicago. And most of my flights were back and forth to Boston. But we took a cruise out of Miami from leaving Toledo, and we ended up, that was the one and only time we flew through Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta is a pretty major hub.
One I couldn't stand is once I moved to Arizona, if I had to fly through Hobby in Texas, Houston, that freaking thing, it took forever when you landed there to taxi. It seemed like we were taxiing for like a half hour.
Why is that? Just it's a big place?
Just big, just huge.
Right on. Yeah, that's a little bit of the thing in Atlanta too. I mean, I don't remember being on the taxi runway part that long, but just getting to your next gate, it's like you literally have to take a bus and maybe change buses a couple times to get to that gate because it's miles away. Well, this is working pretty good. I've got a 184 ground speed going on, so that's nice. And that's off of a 160 indicated. But I really wish I could get my push-to-talk button to stop squeaking. That's annoying.
Is it a mechanical squeak or is it an electrical squeak?
It's a mechanical. It's just the trigger itself. I'm using my pinky trigger. I have a little pinky trigger I can pull with my pinky. I don't use it for anything else, so I mapped it to push-to-talk on Discord. It's getting a little squeaky. Maybe a little WD-40 will fix it or break it.
Yeah. How come you don't set it to just auto detect?
I like push-to-talk.
Okay.
That's just something we got used to doing that years ago, push-to-talk, just because. As a matter of fact, we used to make it mandatory that you had to have push-to-talk to be in our Discord, because people would have all kinds of background noises going on. People would be oblivious to all the noise they're making, and it's cutting through. It's like, yo, man, you know, we can hear your dog eating dinner. We can hear your wife complaining about the TV show. We don't need to hear what's going on in your living room, man. Give me push-to-talk. So we made it mandatory for a while, and I'm still on that protocol. I like push-to-talk.
Yeah, I hear your squeak every time you push it now.
Yeah, it only happens when I let go of the button.
My altimeter must be off. I'm same altitude as you guys, but I'm well above you.
I think you can set your altimeter, or you can reset your, what do they call that?
The barometer.
Your barometer. Yes, you can reset your barometer by giving like a shift B or something like that.
Just B. Just B.
And it'll.
If you haven't changed it. If you haven't changed it from the factory setting, your default setting. I'm on using few clouds, so it's just setting the barometer at 2992.
Yeah, me too. I got the same situation.
That's
why we're perfectly
2992.
Your altitude says you're at 8,000?
Says that I'm at 8,000, but I'm well above you guys.
Yeah, you're about almost 200 above us.
Are you by chance on live weather?
Yes.
Okay, that's why. So your real barometer is actually not really going to be 2992. Hit the B key, see if it changes.
Yeah, I did. It stayed the same, 2992.
Okay, maybe either you don't have it mapped then to B, or your barometer is really 2992, but I don't believe it is, because you should be at the same altitude as us.
Yeah, usually I am. I just, tonight, for some reason, I'm always above everybody.
Yeah, there's no real easy way to get an I guess, well, see, where we're flying over, KBDL. Do they have an ATS there? ATIS? Just get into an air traffic control somewhere and or an airport that's got ATIS. Hey, there you are.
I just crashed us both. I was looking the wrong direction. Next thing you know, we're one. We're the beast with 4 wings.
Weather.
Well, whoopsies.
That one doesn't say. Oh, wait, here we go, KBDL. I have a hard time reading the all these codes. KBDL 21025 1 Zulu 30004 KT. A few clouds.
Those are all the DMEs around?
No, it's the METAR.
Oh, right, the weather.
Weather. Yeah, so I'm trying to decipher what the barometer. So I'm thinking that Wingnut should be able to go and just pick the closest airport that's got weather, and get the barometer from it, and then change his barometer to that, and he should be good.
But I think the problem all boils down to we've got different barometers. We're using different weather. Me and you are on the same weather, and he's not. But also, like he said, that never made a difference before. But realistically, it should make a difference. So maybe this is the first time it's actually worked the way it's supposed to.
I just got Bradley Tower ATIS, and they're telling me 2999, so I'm gonna try that.
Let's see if it brings you down $1.50. Got this B737 over here behind us, SWA 1542. He is really low. I wonder what's the deal with him.
Probably coming into Bradley.
Is that
There's
right
a
here?
lot of aircraft. Yeah, we're practically flying right over the top of it right now.
Oh yeah, that explains it.
It's a towered airport, so
Yeah, about the only airport I've been to on this side of the country is one of them in New York. I was pretty young. I'm not even sure which one it was, but it was one of them in New York. I'm guessing it was JFK.
I think that's the one I've flown through a few times. When I went to Sweden, I think we.
Right.
I know I flew in one of the New York airports, and I don't think it was LaGuardia. So I'm pretty sure it must have been JFK.
Yeah, me too. Pretty sure it was JFK. That was on my way to Germany and then on my way back home.
Well, shoot, I set my time hoping that it would be a little more closer to sunset when we land, because Boston's really pretty at night. But I think it's still the sun's still pretty high up for me.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have nighttime when I get there, but it's a very beautiful sunset right now.
Yeah, you can change it.
Yep, I could. As a matter of fact, I backed it off so it wouldn't be quite so dark. Whoop.
Oh, your plane just disappeared.
My game paused briefly just for a second.
Oh,
that was
okay.
enough for you to skip ahead of me. Hey-o.
There you are. Yeah, they don't really need to put our name tags for our character and our aircraft. Just put on the aircraft.
It's usually the same anyway.
Yeah. Well, if you're flying, the only difference is your character name tag just has your name, how far away you are, and your altitude. Whereas your aircraft name tag tells you what kind of airplane you're flying, how far away you are, and your altitude.
Still a little bit redundant. We don't need all that.
Although it says your aircraft is at 8,001.34 feet, and it says your character is at 8,007.17 feet. So you are 6 feet above your airplane according to the name tags.
Maybe I'm about 3 feet above my landing gear.
Maybe that thing for the aircraft. Maybe that's like the bottom of the wheels or something. So that might be it.
But it's another one of those things. I mean, it says you're at 8,010 feet, 0.72.
Yeah.
I don't need
That's
to
always-
know that you're at 0.72 of a foot. Wait, I don't need to know that you're a couple inches away from, 80-10. Just say 80-10.
Yeah.
That's close enough. That's all I need to know.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
clutters
need
it
the
up way too
inches.
much. Yeah, they could do away with just get rid of the anything below the decimal for
Yes.
For the height. Miles, probably I would probably keep it to the 1/10 of a mile, but you don't need 100th of a mile.
Right. Hundredth of a mile don't matter. But certainly keep the 10th of a mile. But we don't need inches on your altitude. And that's just ridiculous, man. And it's actually a fraction of an inch that it's telling us, not inches. It's like,
But yeah, 100th of a foot.
yeah, 100th of a foot.
Yeah, because a tenth of a foot would put you just over an inch. So you're
Yeah.
talking a tenth of an inch.
Yeah, I think that's a little much. I mean, I can't believe that we're the only people that see that and we're like, that's just ridiculous. Hasn't anybody said something? It's like, yo, guys. Of course, you never know. It could be some incredibly complex line of code that they would have to change, but I doubt it. It'd probably be pretty simple.
I think 2020 wasn't like that, was it?
Yeah, I think it
I don't
was.
think it-
Yeah, I think it was. We complained about it back then. It was just unnecessary. That there was just too much information, and then the information you give you is too granulated, too fine. To be honest, I don't need half that crap they give you. Asobo, passive aircraft, generic, piston one engine, C400, blah blah blah. Man, I don't need any of that.
It
Tell me
says
you're in a
Beach Baron.
Yeah, just tell me
It says-
C400 and then how far away you are and how high you are. That's all I need.
Well, that's what 2020 used to do. Yours now. I mean, this one's saying you're in a Beach Baron G58 private charter. Then after that, it goes BE58. Well, that was the part that 2020 would tell you. It would just tell you BE58. It wouldn't give you that huge long name or anything.
But also, 2020 didn't tell you like how far away you are. I remember complaining
No.
about that. It's like that's the handy information there, how far away you are. It tells you how high you are, but hey, I can tell if you're above me or below me. That's all I need to know. You know what I mean? It's much more handy to know how far away you are. It wouldn't hurt if they told you how fast you're going too, but that's not necessary really. But it's nice to see how far away you are.
Or just put a little field where you can go into the menu and select what you want it to show you.
Yeah, they did that in FSX. It was simple. You could even change the color of it, you know, in case it was hard to see
Yep.
because it's in the clouds or whatever.
Yeah, I'd like maybe red. I think it was red in 20 or in FSX, or one of the older ones was red because it stood out. You could actually see it. But you're right,
Yeah.
the white one, especially when it's in the clouds, you can't read them.
I used to like more of a light blue kind of a color, or even green, because for me sometimes red just blurs out. Red it's just blurry. That's why I'm not crazy for the magenta color of all the writing on your GPS here. Your glass cockpit, everything is like magenta writing. That's hard to read. All the stuff written in white, I can read from really far away. The stuff written in magenta, I gotta scoot right up in it, and I can see we're 56 miles away, 55 miles away.
I
But
just
all
looked
that white
something-
stuff, I can sit right back in the seat and I can read that just fine.
Yeah, the plane I'm flying is made by Cessna.
Okay. It's a very non-Cessna looking airplane.
It's
Yeah, maybe they're trying
manufacturer-
trying to be a little more modern, you know.
The weird thing here is this. I'm using the EFB and I'm hitting a little aircraft information screen, and it's telling me on here that my cruise speed's 127 knots.
So that's way off also then.
Yeah, because on the not the marketplace, but the aircraft selector screen there, it says it's 235.
God damn, that's off by more than 100 knots. And the truth is, it's actually somewhere in between.
Yeah, well, my yellow bar starts at 180, so I'm green to 180, and I can get into the about 190ish, and that's about topping out. So,
Yeah, this will probably do close to that, I guess. I mean, if you just leave it full throttle, you probably hit 180 pretty easy. You have a nice looking sunset, though. I love being up in these clouds.
So I don't know what the different. No, I'm not. Well, there's like 4 screens on this. It gives you the type, and that's where it tells you Cessna C400 Corvallis TT. It says type, manufacturer, creator, and cruise speed. That says 127, but then there's a selection for flight performances, checklists, and aircraft information. If I hit aircraft information, it says my cruise speed is 234 knots, and my max altitude is 25,000 feet.
Yeah, maybe they're saying,
I'd
you
make-
know, drive
make up your
55, but
mind,
it'll
guys.
go 95.
It says it's got a range of 1,250 nautical miles.
That's a good range.
Yeah,
I'm not
it is.
100% sure what this one does.
But cruising along at 180 knots at 25,000 feet, I could get there pretty quick.
I know on a C-130 that distance wouldn't even move the needle.
Now, I didn't notice if I actually have oxygen in this airplane, so that might be an issue.
You would
If it
think
really hits
that you
25,000
would.
feet.
I mean, being a turbo, it's probably got a pretty good altitude that it can maintain. Yeah, I would imagine that they do have oxygen.
I just haven't. I can't
There's probably a
find it
switch.
anywhere.
Probably a switch somewhere labeled oxygen. Or
Well, that's what I'm thinking, but
go up there and see if you pass out. We're pretty close already.
let me see. Oh, there's all kinds of stuff on the ceiling back here behind me. What is that? Oh, none of these things work.
That's one of the things I like about that goose that they give. Part of the startup procedure is behind you. You have to turn around and hit that fuel pump and then manually crank the pump a couple times to get some fuel into the system and then turn back around and complete the procedure. Oh, that's old school right there.
Yeah, it does have a very minimal ice protection.
Does it?
It's got prop heat and wing de-ice.
Awesome. Yeah, that was one of the things I set up. I don't know if I had it on in the previous sim. I didn't remember seeing the option. But when I set this one up, I saw the option for, icing effects and all that kind of stuff. And I said, hell yeah, give me some icing effects.
Well, I finally managed to get my career into Alaska, so I'm flying around a 172 because I like to do more of the bush flights for cargo missions. And even now, in June, I'm running into a lot of ice and snow and icing conditions there. And that 172 does not like ice.
No, that 172 doesn't like altitudes either. That's why it's not easy flying around those mountains in Alaska. Hopefully they keep you to rivers and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I'm finding I can. It takes forever if you try to hit 14,000 feet. I'm usually trying to keep it around 10 to 12.
I mean, it's barely designed to go
Unless
that high. It doesn't like to go that high, man.
But if you're at 14,000 feet, like right now, there's still a lot of land in Alaska that's covered in snow. And you fly through a cloud. Although it was weird because I flew a couple days ago from Fairbanks, outside of Fairbanks. It was like 80, 85 degrees there.
Yeah, I seen that on the news. That weird, much like a lot of places like Michigan and stuff, we had a really cool spring. It was cold. It was cold all spring. I couldn't wait for it to heat up. And they said Alaska had kind of the same thing. It was a really cold spring, and then all of a sudden, overnight, bang, it's like 80 degrees. And shit's melting, and it's weird, and they're not used to that, and yeah.
Some of the runways that had me come into were still covered. The ground around was still, hey, you can tell it was lighter snow because you still see some grass patches and stuff, but all the mountains in the area were still covered in snow. But if it hits 80 degrees for very long, it won't be around very long.
No, not for long. We are going to start descending here. We're only about 36 miles out, so I'm going to bring it down to 3,000 feet. When we approach the city, I'm sure a bunch of markers will pop in, and we'll check out all the POIs. And yeah, we'll do that, and we'll worry about landing when that happens. So I'm going to bring it down to 3,000 feet. A beautiful sunset going on. I like it right when it gets to that. You got some like purple blue colors mixed with some peach kind of color. It's awesome.
I've got one looks like smog in front of us, but it's like I don't think the East
must
Coast
be
is really
Boston.
known for smog.
Yeah, I'm in live weather and it's real hazy.
It's all the tea in their harbor that's making some weird clouds.
Well, that's what they get for dumping tea in the harbor.
That's what they get for freaking out about tea.
There's a big revolt.
Yeah, I mean, if it was the coffee party, yeah, all right, I'm on board. I get it now. I got some POIs popping in. I got one off my, I don't know, about 2:30, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I'm assuming there's going to be quite a few of them up ahead
At
of us.
the EFB, there is a lot of traffic at Boston. A lot
Yeah, I
of
can see
planes
name
heading
tags
in,
up
and a
there.
whole lot of them at the airport. I did fly that one. The wingnut was flying the. Oh, what the heck was that? The square-looking twin prop.
Was that the one from last
Sky
week?
Courier.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Sky
it was-
Courier.
Cessna 208.
I should be able to see that correctly
That's
now.
a pretty cool plane.
Yeah, it flies like a Cadillac, man. It's easy good.
That's a
Nice
default
plane,
airplane
so
too,
if
isn't
you
it?
wanna,
Right?
like, yeah, I don't know what version you have. I mean, you'll have it.
Yeah, I've got the
it
same
came
one
with
you
the
do.
premium deluxe release.
I've got the Extreme
I don't know
Deluxe
if
Mega
it's in
Super.
the- but that'd be a good final flight plan based around that plane.
Yeah, the only one that I don't have, the only package I don't have is the one that adds a whole bunch of 2020 planes from off-brand makers and stuff. I was just like, man, whatever. I mean, as it is, I've got access to scores of airplanes, and I only fly 4 of them. But yeah, I would like to check that out. Actually, I think Bob Wingnut has talked about that a number of times. And seemed to work pretty good last
Yeah,
week.
flies good.
That's kind of a
Got
recent
pretty-
one that they
pretty
added,
short
kind
takeoff,
of
too.
like within the last couple of months. They added that, right?
Yeah,
And- yeah, it is short takeoff.
no. It came with the package back in when the
Oh, did it originally?
flight sim was released.
Oh, okay, because I know they added
Yeah.
one. They added one kind of as an apology not that long ago. Like, sorry, everything's all screwed up. Here's a
Yeah.
new plane. That wasn't it though, huh?
No, that wasn't. No, that was the. It was a Cessna. It was a 206 maybe, but I love the plane that they added. The only reason I don't fly is it doesn't have autopilot because it's I mean, it's basically like a huge 172. It's got like 6 or 8 seats in it. It's a lot longer. Flies got a cruise speed of maybe 145 knots or so.
Is that Sky Courier?
Flies great, but maybe.
JMB. JMB in the chat raises a good question. Why is Jared not here? I don't know why Jared's not here. He should be here. He needs to hop into Discord and tell us why Boston is so cool. Because, I don't know, why is Boston so cool? He seems to think it is.
So I enjoyed it. I like it, but I wouldn't want to live there. Too many people,
All right.
and they all
yeah, me
talk
too.
funny.
I'm a small town guy. Yeah.
That's why I left Phoenix.
We're 22 miles out from the airport there. I don't see any POIs just yet. It doesn't mean there isn't any, but I'd be surprised if there wasn't any POIs in a big city like Boston. But when we do get there, we're not going to land right away. Let's go ahead and check out the city a little bit. We'll do a little left-hand circuit around the city and see what they got.
I don't think there are any POIs in Boston. I think it's just all just the photogrammetry.
Really? Well, we can check it
I
out,
could
see
be
how
wrong.
nice it is. It seems like there used to be
It's been a while.
like a. It seems like there used to be a big ship in the harbor, like a big.
The Constitution.
Yeah, like an
That was
old-timey
there.
sailing ship.
But I don't remember them putting a POI for it. Maybe there was.
I keep having problems with YouTube Studio. YouTube Studio keeps telling me that it's not working. And I'm looking on the stream and it seems to be working just fine. It seems to be really far behind, though, that's for sure. Maybe that's what it is. Every time it's not working, it just kind of pauses or something. Well, YouTube Studio can complain that it ain't working, but I don't know what to do about it, so onward.
Had a weird issue getting Discord to start today.
Did you?
I was up, had my computer up and booted and everything, and went to start Discord, and then right after I started, I got that blue Windows screen with a little fake smiley face that says, "We have detected an issue. We are restarting." So
The blue
I restarted my
screen.
computer, and I didn't think anything of it, where it was saving data, whatever. I didn't think anything of it Discord related, because I forgot that I just started Discord, or tried to anyway. Well, so then I booted up the computer again, hit the button for Discord, nothing was happening. Gave it a good 5 minutes, nothing was happening. Tried again, nothing. So I rebooted my computer, tried again, nothing. So I went to download Discord, re-download it and try to reinstall it. And while I was downloading it, all of a sudden the Discord window popped up with a bunch of, because usually every single time I start Discord, it goes through like a pop-up menu where it's like updating like 15 updates or something like that.
Almost every day, yeah.
And I don't know why it does that every single time I start it. So it's like, well, it didn't go through that this time, but there was a pop-up window for some new thing that they added.
Oh yeah. I had to disable some shit when I first started Discord today because it was giving me stuff I didn't ask for. Yeah, JMB says that he doesn't mind large cities. He's been big and small. Yeah, I get it. It's kind of nice. I really love, the only large city I've ever spent any time in was Chicago, and I really like Chicago. I really do. It's an awesome city. The people are super proud of it, so it's they're nice and friendly about it. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice city, and they know it.
But
I don't know if I'd want to live there.
Like living.
You know, I'm always glad to go home after I spend a couple days in Chicago. I'm sorry, Longhorn?
Yeah, that's, I was just saying the same thing. It's like, I don't mind. I like visiting them. It's really cool. The nightlife and walking around and all that stuff. But then it's like, after a week or two of that, it's like, yeah, I got to get out of here.
Yep. Too many people.
I want to live somewhere where there's no rush hour.
So we're real close. We're inside 10 miles now. You're right. I don't see any POI markers around here. And it's a pretty dispersed city, too, isn't it? It doesn't look like your typical... Maybe that's just a lot of
towers, these big red and white antennas.
I just went over the top of those, yeah. There must be some... I'm glad I'm not any lower. I would have hit them. I do have some nighttime textures coming in now, like this freeway back there. It's all lit up. Alright, yeah, we're coming down to Boston proper here. I see right there by the water. The actual city. So yeah, we'll check it out a little bit, see what's going on here.
I just flew over WCVB Channel 5 building with a helicopter pad on top.
It's cool that it actually says what it is, that WBB tower. Is that a POI? Or it says that on the helicopter pad?
No, it's because it has a helicopter pad on it.
Oh, right.
That's why it gives me the name.
I'm always impressed when you see a stadium that has the name on it. It's like, well, that's pretty cool. There's just tens of thousands of stadiums all over the world, and when they take the time to actually model it specifically, that's pretty impressive.
And now I see a WBZ Channel 4 CBS Boston.
Because they all got their news helicopters, huh?
Since in 2024, so this will be my first time seeing it. A lot of skyscrapers.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring her down and take a little tour of the city, see what's going on. Follow one of these freeways in. This big old building over here looks like it's got something on the side of it. Yeah, I got just enough of the nighttime textures popping in that it looks pretty good. Everything's all lit. They got lights, but I can still see pretty good.
Still have the daytime textures, but I can tell the sun's about to set now.
Right.
So the sun's pretty low. But this is nice. I'm surprised they don't have any POIs on some of these buildings. I mean, these things look. I mean, unless these are part of my airport add-on, but these buildings look good.
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with this big tall building right here. It looks like it's supposed to be reflective, but it's reflecting the stuff around it, but not really. It's kind of static. It looks like it looks like that's the image they took from space, and then there you go. It was reflecting everything around it, so they just made the building look like it was painted with that on the side.
There's a lot of ships out here.
Yeah, there is. I already seen a bridge at least that you don't want to go underneath that. It's pretty solid.
Half Irish, the Tuscan Sun, Samuel Whitmore, CGC John Patterson. Huh. A lot of ships here.
Where's that crappy baseball team of theirs play?
Fenway Park.
I just wanted to make sure if Jared was watching, he'd for sure comment on that.
Did you try going under this green bridge?
No, the only bridge I saw didn't look like you'd go under it.
This green bridge looks like you can, but I'm not going to make it on this trip. It's pretty low to the water, but it's open under it. Oh, got a ship that's docked itself and half on land.
That's a pretty nice looking city, though. I do like that. Let's see where you're at. What green bridge are you talking about?
To the north of the city. Just follow the, just go past the buildings and...
Kind of follow the water. I see where you're at.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of cars driving through the water.
Highway bridge.
I don't remember. I know I've driven over it, or actually I didn't drive over it. I was in a vehicle that drove over it. Somebody else was driving.
There is a lot of traffic around here, no doubt. Not just airplane traffic, I'm looking at the ground.
Yeah. And of course, they're all driving under the bridge.
Instead of on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bridge that I see that
it.
you're about ready to go under, it's solid for me. It's a solid wall.
Really?
Yep. Good luck. Oh, bango!
Okay.
It looks like it was solid for you, too. That's weird. It didn't look solid, but you hit it like a brick wall. It looks like a brick wall for me. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I just streamed that. Congratulations.
Okay,
It looked like you were trying to go underneath that, the arch again in St. Louis.
Yeah, and that's what happened with that one too.
It didn't look solid to you? The bridge didn't look solid?
No, it's clear. I can see all the way through it.
Well, for me, it looks like a solid brick wall. Really? That's weird. I mean, it's probably a graphical glitch on my end, but maybe it's not. It doesn't look like you can go under it, that's for sure. You gonna try to go under it, Wingnut?
I'll give it a go.
Give it a go, buddy. I'm watching. You made it.
Made it.
Okay, that is
I
weird.
might
That's
have
kind of like
washed
twice
the bottom
that.
of my plane, but I made it.
That's twice how that happened like that, to where Longhorn was unable to go under the gateway arch, and the rest of us didn't have a problem. This time, that doesn't even look like you can go under it for me. It's got a solid black wall underneath it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's real tight under there. I think I washed my belly.
Nice. Yeah, I do love this new sim though too. I mean, look how dense of a packed of an area this is. I mean, it's not like we're flying around Tokyo or anything, but it's pretty dense around here. There's a lot of shit being rendered, and it's smooth as silk, man.
Ooh, I'm flying almost into a big airliner. I mean, he's right on me.
He's probably coming into land. I see the runway he's coming in on.
JBU 1079 just about took me out.
Just about. We would have heard about that in the news. Well, I'm going to go ahead and swing around and just go ahead and land on this gigantic ass runway right here. That's I'm not sure what number it is, but it's pretty big. Look how big that airport is too. I mean, even I can see why if you're on that runway, it's going to take a while to taxi to the airport itself, to the facilities. The facilities are a long ways away from it. Half the ships down here in the harbor look like they're sunk. Alrighty, Lazerbolt is on final for runway, I don't know, 14 perhaps, maybe 15.
Coming in right behind you.
Right on, buddy. I'm going to try to find a place, well, you know how we do it. I'll just pull off and we'll just park. I don't like the light textures that they have for the inside of this. Once the light's turned on, I'm going to have to turn that off next time. It's just your instrument panel has a big light above it that kind of washes out the whole thing.
It says runway 15, right.
15. I knew it was 14 or 15. It's a big one. Pull over here somewhere where we can watch Longhorn land. You gonna do that ILS landing you were talking about, Longhorn?
Yeah, I'm resetting or rebooting my headset. It didn't like something.
It didn't like
I'm
something.
having like fits with it right now. We're just locked up.
Didn't like get slammed to the water under a bridge.
It's a little bit waterlogged, huh? I could see where it didn't like that. It's got chunks of the bridge sticking out of it. Yeah, I don't like the lighting effects on the inside of the airplane here. I mean, it's just the one light. It's got some kind of a floodlight that it just kind of puts over your instruments and it washes them all out. Looks weird. They look better. I mean, it's a glass cockpit. They look better when they're just glowing in the dark. Lost track of Longhorn.
My flight sim locked up.
No, no. Are you attempting runway 15?
Oh, I can't attempt anything. I can't do anything. It's
Well, I
froze.
mean, when you're not locked up, are you trying 15?
Oh. No, I haven't even gotten that far yet. I
I
just
see.
barely got out from under. I tried to slew out from underneath the airplane, and then my headset got all messed up now, so it basically froze Flight Simulator. So I'm expecting it's going to crash Flight Simulator any second.
I see. You tried to get tricky and it said, nuh-uh.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, wait.
They always have these little white and yellow flowers around every airport. I wonder if these are particularly like aviation gas.
Look like a bunch of dandelions.
Well, all right, everybody. We had a good flight tonight. We made it all the way to Boston and saw the awesome sights of the city itself. Had a good time flying tonight. I really enjoyed this. This is a great area. Flying a nice little airplane, too. I think next week we're going to be flying something a little bit different. Not 100% sure what that's going to be at the moment, but I got a lot of choices to pick from. And yeah, we'll have a pretty nice flight. We might be going to Europe, or we might be going to someplace tropical. We'll see. We'll see where that lands. But anyway, if you guys would like to join us, please grab the information in the bottom of the group flight info in the Discord, or you can get the information in the bottom of the YouTube in the description of the video. And we'd love to have you. You can get it on GamePass if you'd like. And it's always a good time. We're pretty casual around here. But anyway, I'm going to shut the stream down for now. It was nice having everybody. I hope everybody has a nice Friday night and a wonderful weekend. And take care, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye now.